What's the best thing about getting old? If you're a 21, 25, 35-year-old watching this and there's some old bloke opposite you saying what's the best thing about getting old, you're probably going to say bugger all. Nothing at all. In 1 year's time, less than a year, I'll be 60. What's the best thing about turning 60 even? I know one thing, you can access your super, should you wish to. It's actually a huge milestone. Thankfully, and I know this for a fact, a couple of my mates are confused about that. They reckon they can access their super when they're 67. That's wrong. That's when you get an age pension, and one bloke I'm talking with, he's got too much money, he's not going to get an age pension. I said, you can get your super when you're 60 years old, mate. He said, no, really? I said, yeah, mate. So that's one of the best things about turning 60, you can get your super. The other thing for me, trying to figure out who I am coming up to age 60, is if you get your super, you don't have to work. That did not work out well for me. When I was recently made redundant, I thought, who the hell am I without a job? Thankfully, very thankfully, I've got this really awesome job now. It's not as high pressure as the last one, which is really good. People are appreciative that I can help them. I really like that. With the getting of age is the getting of wisdom. I don't know where I picked that up, probably from a movie or TV somewhere. With the getting of age is the getting of wisdom. I don't think so in my case. Part of the benefits of getting to this stage, because different people fall by the wayside in their 30s, 40s and even 50s. Part of the benefit is you should be able to learn from your mistakes. Maybe, maybe not. I wouldn't say I've achieved anything like wisdom. I know a lot of stuff, know a lot of people. I can reflect on how Australia used to be, particularly in the 70s and the 80s, compared with what it is now. It's a different country altogether. Makes me a bit sad. I try not to think about it. The getting of wisdom. I don't think that's actually possible. What is wisdom anyway? You know, Socrates, Aristotle, they were wise people. These days, nobody gives a shit about that. They give a shit about how much money you've got. Oh, Elon Musk, he's a trillionaire now. They don't care whether he's wise or not. He can say anything he bloody wants. So, that's not it. Being comfortable with your relationships with your significant other is a good thing. Stability of your relationship and predictability of that relationship is a good thing, and I think for me one of the best things about getting older is that I'm less stroppy. I know when I was in my 20s and 30s I was incredibly stroppy. Another word for stroppy is aggro. Don't know why. I did some stupid shit that I'm glad I don't feel the need to do anymore. And mostly to do with motor vehicles and speed. So you get my drift, literally. You know, part of that is when you're younger, having accidents that fuck up different bits of your body, and then when you get to 60, you pay for it. I was walking along, I had a knee operation, from running. I had a knee operation 30 years ago. I torn my, called a meniscus. So they cut half of it off. So it's the bone rubbing on the bone. And yeah, I felt this really odd twinge, and I'm going, oh, geez, another 5 years might need a knee replacement. Geez, that'd suck, wouldn't it? My mum had two, and a hip, and she's a trooper. She just shut her eyes and went through with it. Best thing for her. So I think that's a benefit of getting older. I'm less stroppy. I don't know whether that applies to anyone else or not. This is just a bit of a parkside chat. I'm a bit sick and tired of talking about politics. It's broken, so can't fix it. She broke, can't fix, as different people used to say to me. Getting old, turning 60, accessing super. If you got the balls left, which I might not necessarily have, you could piss off to Southeast Asia and live your sunset years being slowly drinking yourself to death in a bar soy, sozzled down the Mekong River, drinking Mekong whiskey even. It's not kind of my idea of retirement, but certainly, you know, spending some time in Thailand would be helpful. I like the historical parks. They call them historical parks in Thailand. Basically, all the old monuments, the jetties, the stupas. I just think it's amazing. Civilization, layers of civilization on top of each other. There's a really awesome channel, Willet's World. I'll put a link in the description. Willet's bloody awesome. He just travels around and says this is that. Very low stress, no background music, for which I'm very grateful. And as they say in Thailand, sabai sabai, relaxed and comfortable. I think when you retire and get to 60, you need something to do. That was the biggest lesson I learnt from the period of redundancy before I knew I could get another job, because I was kind of writing myself off and thinking, oh, you know, is this the end of it? Is this me? Is it the peak of what I can achieve has gone? Hopefully not. But you need to keep busy. And that was the biggest thing that I found challenging, was to keep busy. So I did YouTube. And it filled in the time, that's for sure. I'm not very good at it, but, you know, like, one of the things I like about YouTube, in fact, is that nobody says you have to be good. Anyone from the highest production value to a bloke in a hat filming himself in a park waffling on can upload to YouTube. I thought that was brilliant. Part of the other benefit of getting old is you can appreciate just how amazing technology is. You know, from when I was a kid, you know, 7 years old, we had a Rank Arena television with a rotary dial, clunk, clunk. It was my job to get up. We only ever watched, like, it had 4 channels. That's 4, yeah. 2, 7, 9, 10. That was it. Only had 4 channels on the telly, clunk, clunk. So we mostly watched Channel 9 when I was a kid, but then turn it around to Channel 7, watch the Bathurst 500 once a year, and the horse racing and different stuff. Australia excels in sports broadcasting. We've just got, like, I was watching the French Open recently. Compared with the broadcast of the Australian Open, it was a bit shit. They didn't even have the computer for the line. Like, the umpire kept going out in the chair and they kept pointing where the ball was, and he said no. Like, they don't have that in Australia. Basically, it's either in or out. They've got the camera happening. Everything's bloody not ambiguous. So I think there are benefits to getting old. I think the biggest, it's both a pro and a con. I'm really grateful to see my kids grow up. My elder son's got himself sorted out with a job next year. He's on his way. Just seems like yesterday that he was born. 22 years later, there he is, a fine young man, making his way in the world, having a bit of mischief along the way. That's how you do it. Yeah, the flip side of that is, you know, your parents dying and things like that. And like seriously, if I last as long as my dad, I've really only got 14 years left to live. Hopefully I'll last a bit longer. My mum's 94. She's deteriorated quite a lot in the last year, but she still knows who I am, for which I'm very grateful. But her mobility is poor, her quality of life is poor, but she's got a very strong grip on life, a very strong grip on life. In summary, I think, to be perfectly honest, Australia is an expensive country. The thing I'm most grateful about, apart from my family and watching them grow up, which is the top, I'm really grateful I don't have any debt. And when I was made redundant and thought, oh, you know, shit, that's it, I was about a year away from being able to access my superannuation. I said to my wife, you know, if we can't afford to live here, we will have to move to Thailand. My eldest son did not want to do that anyway. He's already got a job lined up here. He said, I'm not doing that. And I said, fair enough. So you end up in that situation of adult children in Australia and you in Southeast Asia somewhere, or Portugal, or, you know, Spain, or any country that's a lower cost of living. I went to Madrid once. Friggin' amazing. So chilled. You have to learn Spanish because I don't speak English, but that's their country. It's awesome. The beer was cold. The olives were great. The food choices weren't that, you know, menu del dia. Omelette. A lot of ham. Jamon. But, you know, it was great. The biggest benefit of getting old is no debt. So if you're 25 or 35 watching this and thinking, what's my number one goal to achieve by the time I'm 60? The answer's simple. Become debt-free.